The story of this evening begins in 1988 when I first decided to direct Peace Child after the birth of my son. The first performance of the musical was a local production with students from Heathfield Community School and members of my Taunton Youth Theatre. Little did I know then that this was the beginning of a journey that would define the next 25 years of my life. More importantly, it acted as a catalyst to so many other individual stories that have literally reverberated all over the planet and at the same time have led us to the building of this wonderful theatre. I first met Kathleen Tacchi-Morris after the original production of Peace Child. When John Fletcher, Paddy West and myself first met her, she suggested that I should direct an international version of the show. I admit I wasn't particularly enthusiastic, simply because I didn't think it was practical. However, when I got home, the phone was ringing, and to my surprise it was Tacchi, who simply said, "My dear, we simply didn't meet just now. You must come back." "When?" I said. "Now," she said. I did. And that was how it all began. The number one task was to get Julian Breeze on board as the musical director. He had already began to put his indelible creative stamp on the show during the first run. I already had some ideas for rewriting the show to meet the needs of the international cast, but I needed Julian's songwriting talents and boundless enthusiasm to take the show to a new level, which, as you'll see this evening, he most certainly did. John Fletcher and I set about the task of putting the wider organisation of the project together. For John too, this was the beginning of a journey that would last over a quarter of a century, and one that he still plays a vital role in to this very day. Coordinating some 60 odd young people and their chaperones to spend a month in this country from 20 different countries at a time before emails and mobile phones proved to be very challenging, as was getting the funding and securing a London theatre. I still wonder how we managed to do this. Throughout this period and the years that followed, I became Tacchi's friend and confidant. Her mantra was, if you've got something to do and it's important, you just do it. And in the end, we did. In the summer of 1990, young people from all over the globe gathered to spend a month together in the name of peace. They came from Australia and Tasmania, from Hiroshima in Japan, from Russia and America, from Northern and Southern Ireland, from East and West, Germany, from Poland, France and Spain, from the tribal lands of northern Kenya and the townships of Soweto in South Africa, a Jew and a Muslim from Israel. Young people whose governments and culture were diametrically opposed came together in the name of peace to make a play about peace. The musical began with the ritualistic lighting of a candle brought by a Japanese member of the cast from Hiroshima, which was lit from the city's everlasting flame in remembrance of the 150,000 human souls who died there when the atom bomb was dropped. We performed the show to sell out audiences in the Shore Theatre in London on the 45th anniversary of that event. I have many enduring memories of that week that I cherish dearly. I'd like to share just one of them with you that I think sums up the spirit of that week. One number we put into the show featured a member of the cast called Raphael Lokwang, who came from the nomadic Samburu tribe in Kenya. A song unique to his people that pulsates rhythmically through one's very being, rousing the entire cast to join him as it crescendos to its climax. At the end, he jumps into the air and plunges his spear into the earth and yells so loudly that it literally echoes off the walls of the auditorium. At this moment, the entire audience get to their feet and start cheering and clapping, as do the cast. It went on and on and on. The sound they make is thunderous, celebratory, joyful. It's one of those rare moments unique to theatre, when knowing what it is to be truly human is felt and shared. On that night, our Peace Children had spoken. So many individual stories have grown from those few weeks. It's a story of how a girl from St. Petersburg in Russia ends up in New York on the front page of the Millennium magazine. It's a story of how a man seeks out a grief-stricken father in the depths of the Samburu desert after the death of his son Raphael, and how that man lives with those people and writes a book and spends 25 years supporting them, bringing them into this country, spending time at Heathfield School. A school needed building out there, and he fundraised to get the money to build it. It's a story of how a member of that tribe ends up having an audience with the Pope. It's also the story of two star-crossed lovers who are members of the cast, who marry one another and keep contact with each other and the rest of the international Peace Child community to this very day. It's also the story of how the protest song sang by a young South African woman from a township in Soweto, living under apartheid, became the national anthem for a free South Africa. These stories, and many, many more, are the legacy of the Peace Child project we all celebrate tonight. But it is also the story of this place. A vision born out of the Peace Child project. A vision Tacchi understood and shared with me because she understood the potential that participating in the performing arts had for enriching the lives of the young people and the whole community in a positive and lasting way. This is why she insisted that the aim of her trust was to be a centre in excellence in the performing arts, in education. When she knew she was dying, she sent for me. I promised her then that we would build an art centre in her name, dedicated to her ideals. When I became the inaugural director of the Tacchi-Morris Art Centre in 1999, I made it our agreed mission statement, as well as the mission statement of the school's Arts College programme. So all three mission statements share the same ideal: a centre of excellence in the performing arts in education. This vision is achieved via an integrated programme of community classes, professional performances, workshops and residencies, school, college and community productions and events. What binds this unique programme together is a common set of values and purpose. This is expressed in a truly dynamic artistic programme where each of its elements are integrated to the mutual benefit of each other. The values we share are ones of inclusiveness, where each group or individual are encouraged to reach their full potential, and where confidence and self-esteem can be nurtured and developed. Above all, this is a place where we can come to learn and understand more about each other and what it is to be human through participation in the performing arts. These ideals are woven into the skin of what goes on in this centre every day and every night. In this sense, it embodies the Peace Child ideal. Its lifeblood is a team of dedicated, creative, caring and talented people who are made up from the staff of the Tacchi-Morris Art Centre, Heathfield Community School and the Space. Together they are the embodiment of a vision that began 25 years ago and which we celebrate tonight. On the monolith that stands outside the centre, I had the words "Reach out for your dreams" inscribed. Words taken from the Peace Child song you'll hear tonight. A constant reminder of how this story began. Now, as you watch this tonight, I will be sitting in my boat somewhere in the middle of the Ionian with my son Tim, whose birth inspired me all those years ago to do the first Peace Child. We'll be thinking of you tonight, and we'll be lighting a candle together in the name of peace. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great evening, and remember, reach out for those dreams. It's not as hard as it may seem. Good night.